Your post wasn't just an update, it was a story, a moment, and a feeling all wrapped into one. I could feel the weight of your emotions in every line of your post. It wasn't just a call, it was a plea. Your words were subtle, but the feelings behind them were not. That post was your heart reaching out to mine. That post was a reminder of everything we've left unsaid, a bridge to memories we've both tried to forget. Your post wasn't just words, it was a silent scream, a confession of the feelings you've been hiding. The way you crafted that post, it wasn't random, it was personal, and it was for me. Your post hit me like a song I hadn't heard in years, familiar yet so deeply moving. That wasn't just a post, it was a moment of vulnerability, a piece of your soul laid bare for me to see. Your post was a silent invitation, a call to step back into a story that still lingers between us. Every word in your post felt like a breadcrumb, leading me back to you and the feelings we've been too scared to face. That post wasn't just a passing thought, it was a storm of emotions, and I could feel every drop of it. You might not admit it, but your post was a beacon, shining brightly in the darkness, calling me back to you. Your post wasn't just a random musing, it was a deeply personal message, wrapped in layers of meaning only I could understand. Reading your post was like hearing an echo of the past, a reminder of everything we once were and could still be. Your post was a masterpiece of subtlety, yet it screamed the truth louder than any words spoken aloud. The emotions in your post were so raw, so real. It wasn't just a post, it was a revelation. You might have written it for the world, but the moment I saw it, I knew it was meant for me. That post wasn't just a fleeting thought, it was a confession wrapped in mystery, waiting for me to unravel it. Your post felt like a secret, whispered across time and space, carrying the weight of everything you've been too scared to say. Your post was a shadow of your desires, lingering in the light for only those who knew how to look closer. That post wasn't random, it was deliberate, like a secret message sent through the universe, hoping I'd catch it. Every word in your post felt like a piece of a puzzle, each one revealing more of the picture you've been hiding. Your post was like a flame in the dark, burning quietly but bright enough to catch my attention and stir my soul. The way you wrote that post, so intentional, so raw, it was impossible not to feel the weight of your unspoken words. That wasn't just a post, it was a conversation we've been having in silence, finally brought to light. You didn't need to say my name for me to know that every word was a reflection of your feelings for me. Your post was a symphony of emotions, each line playing a melody that resonated deeply within me. The depth of your post was like an ocean, and I couldn't help but dive into every word, searching for meaning. It was more than a post. It was a moment, frozen in time, that spoke to the very essence of what we are. Your post felt like a key to a door I thought was locked forever, opening a path to emotions I tried to bury. That post was a silent scream, a burst of passion hidden behind the veil of subtlety. You wrote that post like you were speaking directly to my heart, whispering truths I wasn't ready to hear. Your post wasn't just a passing thought, it was a fire you lit, hoping I'd feel its warmth. That wasn't just a post, it was a mirror reflecting the connection we've both been trying to deny. The post you made felt like a tether, pulling me back to you and the unresolved emotions we share. Your words weren't just words, they were a bridge built from your heart to mine. That post was a storm of feelings, every sentence crashing against me like waves I couldn't escape. You tried to mask it in casualness, but your post was screaming with the truth of how you really feel. Your post wasn't just a call, it was a confession, wrapped in layers of complexity, waiting for me to understand. That post wasn't for everyone. It was for me, a message so intricately woven that only I could unravel it. Your words lingered in my mind, each one carrying the weight of 1,000 unsaid emotions. The way you wrote that post, so delicate yet so bold, it was impossible not to feel the intensity behind it. That post wasn't just a random thought, it was a spark, a flame ignited just for me. Every word you chose felt like it was designed to pull me closer, to make me think of you in ways I probably shouldn't. You think I didn't notice? Every phrase, every subtle hint, it was all laced with desire. It wasn't just a post. It was your heart calling out to mine. That post, it wasn't innocent. It had layers of meaning, like a puzzle begging me to decode it. And every piece screamed that it was about us. Your words may have been cloaked in subtlety, but I saw through them. That post was an invitation, a whisper of everything you've been holding back. It wasn't just a post, it was a confession, a loud and clear declaration disguised in carefully chosen words. And yes, I heard every unspoken word. Reading that post was like hearing your heartbeat for the first time. It was raw, real, and impossible to ignore. Your post was a mirror reflecting what you've been too afraid to say. It was your way of telling me you've been thinking about me as much as I've been thinking about you. That wasn't just a casual post, it was a calculated move, dripping with passion and the unspoken truth between us. The way you wrote that post, so deliberate, so precise, it was like you were writing directly to my soul. Your post was more than words. It was an emotion, a memory, and a fantasy wrapped into one, and I felt every bit of it. You might not have tagged me, but your words tagged my heart. That post was a message only I could understand. Every line of that post felt like you were calling my name, even though you never said it outright. Your post wasn't just a string of words. It was a gateway to everything unsaid between us. That post hit me like a lightning bolt, striking me with feelings I thought I had buried long ago. You knew exactly what you were doing when you wrote that post. It was a siren's call, and I willingly let myself drown in it. Every letter in that post screamed your longing, your hidden emotions, your desperate call to me, and I felt all of it. It wasn't just a post. It was a confession disguised as casual musings. You poured your soul into those words, and I heard you loud and clear. You might have written it for the world, but it was my heart that caught the message hidden in every line. That post wasn't a coincidence. It was fate, pulling me back to the memories of us, begging me to look at you the way I used to. Your words weren't just random thoughts. They were echoes of the feelings you've been too afraid to voice. The depth of your post hit me like a wave, overwhelming and inescapable, carrying pieces of your heart straight to mine. Reading that post felt like opening an old love letter, where the ink had faded, but the emotions remained just as vivid. You didn't need to say my name for me to know that post was for me. Every word was like a fingerprint of your soul touching mine. That wasn't just a post. It was your heart screaming into the void, hoping I'd hear its plea. It was never just about the words in your post. It was the emotion behind them, raw and unfiltered, that left me breathless. Each line of your post carried a weight, a truth you've been holding back, and now I feel it too. The post you made wasn't just content, it was a revelation, a window into the emotions you've been hiding. You called it a random post, but I call it a love letter in disguise. You knew I'd see it and feel it too. That post felt like a whisper in the dark, a secret confession that only I was meant to hear. Your post wasn't just a fleeting thought, it was a piece of your soul reaching out to mine. You tried to mask it as casual, but your post was drenched in feelings you couldn't contain any longer. That post wasn't just meant for the world, it was meant for me to see and feel everything you've been keeping inside. Your words weren't just letters strung together, they were emotions breaking free, and they found their way straight to me. The moment I read your post, I knew it was more than what it seemed. It was a key, unlocking memories I thought were lost. Your post was a message in a bottle, floating through the sea of social media, and it found its way to my heart. It wasn't just what you wrote, but the way you wrote it that made me feel like it was meant for me. The emotions in your post were so raw, so real. It wasn't just a post, it was a cry for connection. Your post wasn't just a collection of shut up words. It was an open door to everything you've been feeling about us. That post wasn't random. It was intentional, deliberate, and filled with a longing that I couldn't ignore. Reading your post felt like hearing your voice again, soft and filled with emotions you've been too scared to speak. The post you made was a love letter wrapped in mystery, each word begging me to decode the feelings hidden inside.